Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Chrissy and
Louis.
Show. And today we're going to be talking about a couple of topics that need to be touched base on.
But are they ready?
I don't know if they're ready.
Is she ready?
Is she ready?
Is she?
Ole, ole, ole.
And then some.
I guess so.
I guess so.
Ah.
Hey, get into it. Get into it. Hey, she ready.
When you move, hand again, hands out, the jelly never came to my love. Won't say it, knowing what I want from me. Excited, I know what I want from you, baby. Hey, please don't stop loving me the way you, loving me the way you do.
Get into it.
Boy, you bring so much joy, baby. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the Love and Hip Hop Miami reunion and what are our thoughts and feelings on it. But just one particular part, and that part is with Tip and Santana.
Now, I think it's really important that we do talk about this part because one of the things that we were realizing is the different spectrums of being in the LGBTQ community.
Yes.
And the different stigmas that come along with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, so your opinion is they only show a certain type of, how would I put it in the next way? I guess, homosexual man who...
That's flamboyant and
very flamboyant.
Okay, yes. And that is, to me, I feel like
and
that is...
before we even start this, I will say no, this is no tea, no shade. Like, we ain't coming
Okay,
for nobody.
all this is allegedly.
It's just opinions.
Allegedly opinions. But anyways, I mean, to me, in this gay life, in this LGBTQ community, there's certain things that I condone and there's certain things that I do not condone. It's one way to be gay, then there's another way to be just flaming hot
Basically
ass
causing attention to yourself.
Yes, attention seekers. And one thing I don't like that Santana rubbed me the wrong way is how he cut up on the stage. I understand that's him. He's his own person. He's his own personality. And
Which we're not
else,
knocking it, you know.
And we're not knocking it. But
it's an opinion.
The argument that he went back and forth with Tip, I believe Tip more than I believe him. Because we know how these faggots are. Especially, I'm from Miami, so I already know how them faggots like to do extra shit.
And the thing is, you gotta look at receipts. So if you look at past history or past episodes, you're gonna see that he pops off very easily. Very easily.
Yeah, he's very quick.
And these nails.
Yes, those nails.
You know,
those nails. See,
they do a lot more talking than his.
In our time, you couldn't get caught dead walking down the street with no hair on your head, with a purse in your hand, and some motherfucking heels. Okay, you need to have some hair on your head if you want to portray this role.
A gender. Portray it fully, because it is and can be very confusing. Now, mind you, especially if you're in the public eye, I don't condone trying to. I'm not going to say confused, but lead adolescents a certain way when you are presenting yourself a certain way. Not saying that you have to be uncomfortable in your own skin, but there is a time and place for everything. Can we say that?
Yes, it's a time and place for everything, and you need to stand strong on what you believe in. That's what I stand strong and I believe in, because it's unfair to the little kids.
Not even the little kids. It's unfair to the rest of the LGBTQ community. Who
that too, but it's also it has to become a mutual line where
boundaries,
and then also we're being portrayed as flaming hot when there's other realms and so many levels of this gay life, and it really is. Not everybody in the gay life condones a lot of stuff that you see, especially on TV, like this Bobby. He was flaming when he first came on. Trina toned him down.
And see now,
and I'm proud of that.
Now, see, what I love about Bobby is he's still Bobby, just tanked.
Yeah, he just tanked.
You know,
sometimes you gotta be tanked.
I'm not even gonna say he's polished. That's more of a
and branded.
Oh, there we go. Hello. Something some people should learn. Anyways,
sorry.
No tea, all shade. But you know, I think for me, and I portray myself as a homosexual man. Keyword, homosexual man. And so I couldn't I'm 27 years old. So one of the biggest things that I know as a gay man to not to do is to cause attention to myself. Number one, I'm already a target because I am homosexual. So
Yeah.
now, because these type of, I'm not gonna say these type because I feel like I'm like only categorizing them, but the flamboyant, and this again, nothing wrong with being flamboyant. Obviously, I'm flamboyant.
Whatever floats your boat, baby.
But I'm also very smart, and I know there's a, like I said before, a time and place for everything.
It's better to be seen than heard.
Exactly. No, it's better.
Better to be seen than heard.
Which means, honey, look pretty, keep your mouth shut.
Pretty don't get nothing better than that.
Pretty hurts, baby.
It does.
But it's just like, and I was discussing with my good Judy over here.
Oh, good Juju.
Good Juju. You know, if you even look back at history of homosexuals being portrayed on TV, and I think I brought up In Living Color, did I not?
Yeah, you brought up Living Color.
You know,
it's always been, not to cut you off, it's always been portrayed
as
flamboyant and feminine. And see, that's the thing. If we go back to Love and Hip Hop Hollywood when they had the two boys on there, now that was almost an epic portrayal of the gay life because they were masculine. They kept themselves masculine. Their business wasn't really out there like that.
Well,
one was still hiding in the closet, but eventually he came out.
Are you referring to Love and Hip Hop Miami?
No, I'm referring to Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. With my
okay.
Right. So with them two, they
actually
at the end of the segment of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood that season, they also had a premiere of talking about fighting against gays and again battling and stuff like that. And a lot of real artists, straight artists, was on there, and they were just saying like back in the days, it wasn't even heard of a gay rapper or a gay singer. However it goes, it was just all they knew was gay hairstylists, gay fashion designers and stuff like that.
Feminism and flamboyancy.
Exactly. That's all they did was makeup, fashion and makeup.
Which,
never heard of.
Now, mind you, I love me some makeup and fashion, but I also know that because I was born into a society that's always going to have something to say, regardless if you're talking or not.
It's a generation. That's that 80s baby.
But I do feel like this was the portray of flamboyancy in gays. I really do feel like that was a driving force of us, people like us growing up and being bullied, because we were portrayed as to have no morals and values because obviously we're not human, and you know I'm not going to be picky on who I date, right? So I do feel like there needs to be more of a portray. And now when I say portray of the LGBT community, not just the transgender, you know, there's so much more. Not the ballroom scene or drag queen scene. There's
okay. So let me stop you right there. So now, basically, there's a couple of TV shows that have done came out, and every TV show that came out dealing with the black culture, there's always been a feminine character, like them boys from Alabama who do J Sarah with
in the parade that they were
in the parade.
They were not allowed in.
But the thing is, I congratulate them for trying to for trying to bring it in, for bringing it in. I get that. I'm not gonna knock the acolytes for that. But other than that, being so feminine, flamboyant,
but what I will
this is what we fight. This is what we fight in our gay community because, like I say, there's a lot of us that don't condone certain things that's in this you know, this lifestyle, and I don't like. For me, I'm gonna walk out the door. You see this hair on my head? What the hell I look like here with a bald head, some earrings, a purse, and some heels? I'm just this old big old faggot ass punk. No, that's not gonna work. Baby, I need to have a head play the role that you're trying to play.
Right.
See, and even me, I'm trans/cross-gender. I'm in between. I like the versatility of me going back and forth in both because that's me. That's make me comfortable. Yes. So in other words, you might as well say I'm just kind of binary, have it go,
non-binary.
But always dream big.
Now, and the thing is, as you know, every day the LGBTQ community is evolving and expanding to where, you know, we're always going to learn new things. And that's why I feel like if that's expanding, why can't the portrayal of homosexuality expand into different spectrums and genres instead of staying stuck on one particular view of it?
Yeah, that's just like Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark was one of the best portrayed shows out there.
You had
For
masculinity,
you had masculine,
femininity,
feminine. You had the
drag
sex,
queens,
drag queens. You had the sex parties. You had the clubs. They had combined
the
everything
DLs,
into
everything.
one, and they even expanded on bullying,
HIV.
like HIV status and all of that. They did all of that. That's why we solely duly miss Noah's Ark, and they need to
And
bring
please
it back.
come back with it.
They need to come back.
Like, there's no option in that one.
Netflix need to pick it up. Somebody, HBO, Cinemax,
Prime Video,
Stars,
somebody.
somebody,
Who?
for real.
Just give me
But-
the money, we'll sponsor it.
But another thing is that it also broke ground for not just always think about the sex. You got to remember, you got to look at the guys all muscle bound and all that other stuff.
And
That's a trick, too.
what I really loved about Noah's Ark is that it portrayed a family vibe.
Yeah,
And,
that's where it comes with the gay family.
Exactly.
Now that's what you would call a real gay family. Not your uncle sleeping with the nephew. That don't work.
then now, instead of your nephew, now it's your boy toy.
Now it's your boy toy. See,
That's not how it works. So,
if I'm
speaking
your
of gay
sister, I'm your
families-
sister. If I'm your mama, I'm your mama. If I'm your daddy, I'm your daddy. If you're my brother, you're my brother.
And-
If I'm grandma, auntie, / whatever, so and so and so, let it stay within them real grounds. Because I believe in a real, not to cut you off, I believe in a real gay family. A gay family that has a firm father, has a firm mother, and have firm kids that want to do better and try to treat themselves better. But, it's a lot of us that grow up and get disowned by our parents and we become homeless. And then, here you go. Start street walking and start doing drugs.
Because you were led the wrong way. When you
Or,
should've been
no,
having
I
guidance.
can't say that because I met quite a few people in Miami that had good lives and they still end up working the streets. Oh, but the only reason why they wanted to because they wanted to play with Trey.
Oh, no tea, all shade. So going back onto the gay family. So I wanted to touch basically on a little experience of mine, because
Okay.
I grew up, I shared with you that I grew up in foster care. So
Mhm.
obviously I didn't have any family. So I was so excited to learn about what it truly meant to have a gay family.
Uh-huh.
So back in the day, a gay family was created because, like as you stated before, we
Yeah.
were disowned by our family, and
Yeah.
we basically were trying to pick up each other. So I started experiencing the gay community around 2010.
Mhm.
So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna get this gay family, I'm gonna have this love.
And it wasn't all what it
Oh
panned out to be.
no! It was cutthroat, number one.
Oh, these girls are fierce. They're really
Very,
fierce.
and it's
Very
like,
fierce.
and it's like, don't be the new girl and the pretty girl and the talented girl and try to take this spot because, ooh, baby.
That's another problem with this gay community. This black.
We're always in competition with each
It's
other.
always a competition. I stay in my own lane. I know what I look like, and I know what improvements that I need to make to, bring my natural beauty out and all that. I ain't gotta wear makeup to look like a
No.
woman, baby.
Mm-mm.
All I need is some lashes and some earrings and some hair, baby.
Because it's not
And
about...
it's all
and see,
she wrote.
and the
But I'm
thing-
not putting myself no better than nobody else. But I know what I look like because I stand in my own lane and I stand where I'm at.
And the thing that I want to clarify is there is a difference because some people only portray to be a woman, and some people live their life as a woman.
As I,
And that's what
even though I go back and forth with.
Yes, but that's being non-binary, right?
Yes.
So you are comfortable in your own skin. But I am specifically talking about people who only want to be specifically one gender. And it's to the point where because things are portrayed in a wrong light, it's causing a lot of confusion even within our community. I remember asking myself when I first was seeing the gay community, why was everybody always so segregated?
Mm-hmm.
You had the femmes with the femmes, you had the bears with the bears, you had the DLs with the DLs, the trans with the trans, and what I really observed is specifically in the transgender community, even amongst our community, they were shunned and black sheep. And
Yeah, we always shun because at the end of the day, if you really think about it, this LGBT community to the heterosexual, well, some would say some of the heterosexual, they have a problem with it. It's like they fear what they're scared of.
Mm-hmm. And they see
If
a
I'm saying it
fine
right.
woman with a little extra between her legs.
But then again, hold on. Let me take my break. Let me pump my brakes and have several seats. On top of that, you also got to remember, it is these girls out here who pretend to be women on the block, working the streets, the train, the street walkers, yes. And they pretend to play like they real fish, and then they get caught up, and then you see where they at. They be in ditches and shit. That's my belief, because I believe on that.
It's true.
On my own belief is that, and I don't experience some of these things with these girls, because I used to work the streets too down in Miami. I don't do it no more, but.
And see, the thing, like, for me, I've never worked the streets, but I've always had a sense of belief of always having a strong sense of communication. Because, believe it or not, baby, you're more scared, like how you said, you fear the unknown. So you're scared to tell them because you don't know how they're going to react. But, baby, 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, oh, really? Okay. Let's go to the room. Baby, these trades love girls. Love us girls. Love beautiful girls. Okay? Natural girls. And that's so funny that you said that, because I remember growing up, because I didn't know too much about the transgender community growing up, but I did remember the death toll amongst the transgender community because of non-communication.
But you notice it's a lot of young ones. It's not
Exactly.
the old ones.
But
It's the young ones.
It's the stubborn ones who don't listen to the older ones because they think they're just talking out their mouth.
But then again, you gotta also remember some of these old girls out here they cutthroat. They like to come for the new girls that look pretty and better than set them up. They do like to do stuff like that, and that's wrong. Wrong.
But that's also you being
a
good judge of character. You know, I think that's what it also should come down to. But then again, you know,
will clone.
But hey, characters. So you know, there's a difference to me when you are, like I said, living your life as a woman and then being a character in character. Yes. And 9 times out of 10, the ones that's gonna set you up is a character.
Basically.
You know, like how my good Judy said, a sheep's in wolf clothing.
Sheep in wolf clothing.
So it's sad because when I thought about a gay family, you know, you would think it would be embraced and not shunned even more and kind of ridiculed even more. And to me, I kind of lost my hope and sense of faith in the gay community after seeing what it truly meant to have a gay family. I didn't think it was worth it. What, to be kind of almost abused all over again?
To be, and you know, one thing I've learned, I've been around a lot of cutthroat older girls, and I've learned one thing from their block is that they're gonna come for you, no matter how hard. If you're the new girl or you that girl, they're going to cutthroat you. They're going to attack you, and they're gonna attack everything about you. That's why you better learn to read, throw back, whatever you can throw back.
Learn to have tough skin. Number one.
Yeah, because they criticism.
But you know what? I can't even really blame the older queens for doing that, because if you even look at the music industry, they
train
do the same thing.
It's training.
It's the same thing.
It's trying to prepare you for the work.
Of course, when you are used to having a certain type of title or spot, and somebody is coming for it, of course you're going to try to defend it, and I get that. But what I do feel like the older queens need to do is to bow down gracefully and do pass the baton.
Bow down, bitches.
It's better to have a legacy than a no legacy. Come on now, baby.
For real.
At least you're remembered.
I mean, you're right. So, you know, on this time, we're going to be back with these proud messages. And we're back with part 2 of our session. I know I had to go change hair.
Let's get into it, honey.
Yes, Christy. She had to come out, you know.
Not Christy.
Yes, Christy.
Yes, Christy.
Just
ole, ole, ole?
Ole, ole, or that.
And then some.
Sickening. Anyways, so back on topic of what we talk about. So we're going to continue on, furthering on. And we're going to talk about now how homosexuality, we already talked about that, but the homelessness and being bullied and being put out of your house.
Which basically pretty much...
And how basically these new queens, these new sissies, these new punks, these new faggots don't know how hard we work for the bitches that's up in age, that's 34, 35, and 30, they don't understand
See,
the work we had to put in because when we walked across the street back in the day, we couldn't even walk on the same street as motherfucker Trader or Scrape Boy. They'll tell you,
and
take
see,
your
I
faggot
can
ass across the
see,
street.
I can see,
We paved the way for
I
that.
can see 6-year-old Chris today, and 6-year-old Chris is perfectly okay to wear a tutu in public and have nails and, you know, basically be who she or he, whomever they want to be. Me and her, we couldn't do this back in the day.
And then,
We had to hide ourselves.
it was always get your faggot ass across the street.
Right. Like
Don't walk over here.
it was either
Don't even look this way.
right, don't breathe wrong.
Ooh,
Okay?
you used to get jumped after school.
I used to be bullied because I wanted to raise my hand and ask answer a question or answer in school.
I remember I told this Scrape Boy one thing in school. They was picking at me about my sexuality, so I told them. I said, I bet you I can pull more niggas than hoes than you can.
And I bet you I'm more of a man than you
she
are.
wrote.
That's all she wrote.
She
It's
wrote.
so funny though, because I don't know if you had this experience, but the same people that were making fun of me, if I was in the bathroom by myself, be like, come suck my dick. I don't know if you ever got that experience, but it'd be the same ones.
Oh yeah, I got that. The ones that's always picking at you. Them
Yes,
the ones that like
like
you.
you. Yes.
That's the ones that
You
like
know,
you. Mm-hmm,
I mean, I'm not a...
just like that. Just
Hey.
fine.
You gotta get it where you get it. Anyways, so I did want to... I find that I can really relate to being homeless and homosexual at the same time.
Yeah, because it's like some of our families, like homosexuality in my family,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't never discussed.
It was taboo.
Yeah, it was never
Same
discussed.
in
It was
mine.
like, oh, we see it, we're not gonna
Mhm.
talk about it.
Just
Be you.
yeah. Well,
And-
see, you couldn't even. For me, I couldn't even be me. I had to portray what they wanted me to be, which made it even more uncomfortable because I'm portraying somebody I'm not.
So you was fine with your own personality.
Pretty much.
Identity crisis much.
Nicki Minaj much?
Mm,
Yeah.
Uh,
And it,
Walking Dead.
you know, and it's yeah, pretty much. I was Walking Dead, but it was harder for me because
See this bitch.
you know I would see my family looking at like home family videos, and they did have a transgender person that they were my extended family were friends,
Mhm.
but my immediate family would be like, look at that man in the dress, or look at that faggot, or just and not knowing the whole time you have a homosexual sitting right next to you.
Oh wow.
So, for me, because I was bullied by my family. So they were like, if they were to do certain things, oh, shut the door because he's gay, he might like that. So it was for me, I couldn't come out because I was so afraid that I was really going to.
Well, I get you. But for me, I'm going to tell you how it was for me. When I was growing up, everybody thought me being feminine, walking, they thought it was just a phase. They didn't know how serious it was because I was molested by a couple of family members.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to just say that.
Mm-hmm.
And it started when I was,
by the way.
excuse me, and it actually started when I was like 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And it continued till I was like 12, 14, not even that. Continued till like I was 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like even my dad couldn't even tell that I was gay at all. He just knew I had feminine tendencies until my stepmother told him that I was gay.
Mm-hmm.
So when he did that, he got heated. We would go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But every time I would go back and forth with him, I would always end up being the victim because at the end of the day, I'm not doing nothing. I'm still
You're being yourself.
I was still that boy at that time. And I didn't, when we went out places, I didn't show. I carried myself as
with respect.
a leather boy. As a boy.
And it's so funny that you mentioned that because I feel like that's something we have
But
in
not
common.
anymore.
She's a full grown woman now. I'm a grown woman.
I'm
But
a grown
that's
woman.
hey.
Look.
Look at her. So
Yeah.
that's something I do feel like we have in common. So I always used to argue with my family. I'm like, hey, I'm not asking you to accept my lifestyle. I'm asking you to accept me as a person.
Right, you're still a human being.
Right. And so I remember my uncle would refuse for me to babysit his son, right? Because I was gay. And I'm like, well, that's like me telling you don't babysit my daughter because you're straight.
But see, that's another thing I wanted to touch base on. By me being in this LGBTQ community, one thing I do not play is pushing my lifestyle on kids.
Exactly.
I don't do that
There's
at
a
all.
time and place for
I don't
everything.
condone it at all.
No.
Even if I have a boyfriend, I don't kiss
Because you
in
don't
front of
wanna-
my cousins,
yeah,
my god kids.
you don't wanna be an influence
I don't
to
do
them.
none of that. I carry myself as the way I should carry. They see me like this, they know it's auntie. They see me as a
Now-
boy, they see uncle. Period. Point blank.
I will
and that's
say
all
this,
they see.
so that it can be clarified. Now, being homosexual, in my opinion, is definitely not a choice. So it is something that you are born with. But I do feel like, just like a job, you would act professional in front of your boss or, client. And I feel like you have to take that same perspective and use it in your everyday personal life, such as being professional or being a certain way in front of a child. Not as to say that, okay, what you do would turn him gay, because I don't believe that it's a choice. It really truly is something that you are born with, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't want to have a child grow up too fast and miss out on their childhood. That's innocence that you're taking away. Speaking of that, so being in foster care and I've been openly gay since I was
I've been gay.
7, 6.
I've been gay since the age
So
of
there's
6.
two things actually that you mentioned that really sparked my interest, and one of them, if you don't mind me talking about it again, is molestation.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because my father was in prison for 21 years, so I didn't meet him until I was 21. But I told him that I was gay when I was 16, right? And he would tell me, and it asked me one specific question: was I molested? Because it is a pattern. Most homosexuals experience in earlyhood childhood trauma, such as molestation or rape, which I do feel like, because that was the first thing that you did experience, and no, it created a big impact on our lives, apparently, obviously. But I don't think it was a driving force, because I've always had it in me, that, and then being gay in foster care. So I was never adopted, because every adoption that, or every family that ever did want to adopt me, the first thing that was told to them is that I was gay. I was homosexual. And because of that, I had so many unfinalized adoptions. So that kind of comes back to the sensitivity of our lifestyle, because it's, who wants to wake up and be bullied and ridiculed? It's not something that I want.
Really, really bad.
If I can honestly choose to like a girl and not be grossed out and think of tacos and pastrami and all that type of stuff that I don't like, I would do it. But I can't. Because I'll be unhappy. And I'll be miserable. Therefore, you'll get a bitch. You don't want that.
No, don't.
Not at all.
I've seen her.
It's not pretty.
As of mine as well. So
We don't bump heads.
we don't bump heads.
But we make up.
Right.
That's what real bitches do. But see, and that's and I did want to speak about that. See, we have a very unique relationship. And I do feel like it is very family oriented, because family fight all the time. But there's a difference between us and what other gays portray, because they'll hold a grudge and be like, bitch, I ain't talking.